Why hello there everyone, it is I, Epic's What If, and today I am back with another episode on a One Piece What If. The One Piece What If Luffy had the Thunderbird fruit, essentially. Now last we left off, we actually ended Alabasta, where we beat Crocodile. That's actually where we left, I think. We left at Crocodile falling from the sky, leading to rainfall and war itself ending, which was amazing, I suppose. After that, the very basic stuff, everyone's just encountering each other, they're just chilling for a few weeks, they just chill around until the crew has to depart Alabasta. Will Vivi go with them? No, her character arc is complete, no point in bringing her along with the crew, there's literally no point, I'm not going to do that. Now we move on to the next arc, which would be the Jaya and Skypiea arc, which is going to be a fucking a mind fuck, essentially. It's not going to be fun to go through. Well, so before I actually step into this, what was I supposed to say? Alright, don't forget to subscribe and ring that bell if you guys want to see more videos from me. Now let's get right into it, alright? So, before the story itself, a few aspects of the story, let's get those out of the way. Attacking moves wise, Luffy is, essentially still on Divine Justice, which was essentially, him conjuring a flash of lightning from the sky and zapping his enemies. Another move is the Great Flash, which is essentially what you could consider, if you've seen Demon Slayer, Zenitsu's Thunder Breathing, where he essentially, kind of disappears for a second. He moves incredibly fast, but in Luffy's case, he actually conjures up lightning and does stuff. And another is a stunner, which is essentially a light lightning bolt that mostly stuns powerful enemies. It's like a momentary stun that could allow Luffy to escape or probably get an upper hand in a battle, I suppose. Okay, let's enter Jaya. Now, Jaya itself, nothing changes, I suppose, early on. They meet everyone that they do, the monkeys, the bros, and eventually, again, we have that encounter with Bellamy, where again, Luffy and Zoro essentially, they're unfazed by Bellamy. They're like, it's not fucking worth it, just not gonna bother with him. And they have that encounter with Blackbeard as well, which, is interesting to say the least. Now, eventually, Bellamy finds out about Mont Blanc Cricket and his hunt for the gold of Skypiea, I suppose. He obviously goes to Cricket's home, he wrecks it, he loots it all, and he goes back. Eventually Luffy finds out what's happened, and he goes to confront the bastard Bellamy himself. Now, as he does in fact confront him, what was Luffy's bounty? Let's actually improve Luffy's bounty after Alabasta as well. After Alabasta, I think, if I'm not mistaken, it was somewhere around 140 million, where I actually had Luffy, somewhere around that, but I think we can give him an easy 60 million for defeating Crocodile in such a public manner, so he's probably going to be around 200 million, which is pretty fucking hefty if you think about it. But honestly, considering the fact that Crocodile's bounty was, I think, frozen at 200 million something, I'd consider it fair enough, I guess. Anyway, what's his name? Bellamy's crewmate, one of them, finds out Luffy's bounty, I suppose, and he's like, Bellamy, you're so fucked, this guy has a 200 million berry bounty, you're dead, you shouldn't have messed around with him. At which point Luffy does proceed to enter the fucking plaza. Let's just call it the plaza. The town square, where he calls out Bellamy, and Bellamy, being the arrogant fuck that he was, decides to go out and quote-unquote teach Luffy a lesson, which is gonna go poorly for him for reasons. Bellamy, again, like in the original, decides to, spin around like he did, gaining more and more speed with his right-hand man, the white-haired bastard, egging him on, I guess, more and more. At which point, as Bellamy is actually going in for the attack on Luffy, Luffy uses the Great Flash, at which he essentially turns half of his body into the bird itself, conjures a bit of lightning that, he essentially turns into lightning, I suppose that's the best way to fucking put it. Well, the best way to put it will be that he travels at lightning speed, I guess. Pardon the whatever the fuck that was. Anyway, Yeah, Luffy essentially, as Bellamy goes in for the hit, disappears from in front of Bellamy, appears right above him, and smashes him to the ground with one of the most entertaining, satisfying punches in One Piece, period. One of the, at least, I guess. What happens after that? Yes. After this, Bellamy's crew is scared shitless. Luffy's like, I'm going to Skypiea, and shit like that. Nothing much, but okay, fuck, before I forget. As they actually enter Jaya and, Luffy kind of finds out about this magical land in the sky, he decides to transform into the Thunderbird and see if he can actually find the island by scanning straight up. As he goes up and up and up, he realizes that the level of oxygen in the area would obviously knock him out. So, well, then again, it is Luffy, so he just continues to push himself further and further, at which point he actually ends up hitting the bottom of one of the island clouds, I guess. At which point he does encounter water, kind of depowering him as he falls down. He wakes up halfway through, turns back into a bird, and lands softly on the ship, telling the crew that there is in fact something up there and we need to hit it up, guys. Okay, so that's kind of the context behind the entirety, I guess. Anyway, eventually, as he returns Cricket's loot and the Monkey Brothers, they kind of fix up their ship and they essentially make him a flying ship for the purposes of reaching Skypiea through the Great Fucking Geyser, I guess. As as Blackbeard decides to follow them, he fails, obviously, because he's in a fucking dinghy for some reason. Luffy reaches Skypiea, at which point a Shandian, the Shandian attack, as it did in the original, does happen again. But of course, Zoro, Luffy, Sanji, they are the core fighters, I suppose. They realize something immediately, which is that the level of oxygen in the fucking air, it's kind of depowering them because they're not used to the thin air so far. Luffy does manage to almost take out one of the Shandians, and Zoro and Sanji don't do half bad, but they really can't do much. Okay, right, Robin was there as well. I kind of forgot to mention her because I don't know, but Robin's on the crew as well. Obviously, right after Crocodile's defeat, she decides to join them, and well, Robin, she actually does pretty decently, honestly. Robin wouldn't be affected as horribly as other people, but she doesn't manage to do she can't do a whole bunch as well, let's be honest. At which point, Gunfall has to swoop down on his polka-dotted unicorn and save them, and he kind of gives them the fucking bell, I guess, and informs them about Skypiea and all that jazz, I guess. As Luffy and the others again go forward to enter Skypiea itself, they encounter the gate to Skypiea where they refuse to pay because, well, that's an option. She contacts the higher-ups and tells them that pirates have entered Skypiea. They have that encounter with the old man and the girl. Don't fucking lie, none of you remember their names. Anyway, they have that encounter with the old man and his daughter, and they kind of take care of them. They give them food and shit. At which point Nami takes one of the speeders and she just decides to go away, and she witnesses what happens on Enel's land, God's land, I guess, where a few of the pirates that were there get roasted to smithereens, essentially. And she tries returning back, at which point a few of the other fuckers, they kind of see her as well. I don't know if she actually made it back. I don't think she made it back, did she? No, she didn't make it back. A few other blokes went after her, as well, but they get captured. Let's see, who can be the captured ones? The best option, I guess, Zoro, Robin, Nami, and Chopper. Yeah, they are, as in the original, those who are actually going to be the ones who get taken away with the Mary onto God's Island, and Usopp, Sanji, and Luffy are left back, and they have to go after them. Nothing happens with the Skypiean army, I guess. They don't do a whole bunch to Luffy because they literally can't. As Luffy, Sanji, and Usopp enter the fucking dinghy and, go through the trial, essentially start going through the trials. The trials themselves, initially, the appearance of the fucking, what was it called again? Right, the impact dials and the other dials themselves, they kind of stun Luffy and Sanji because they're like, what the fuck, I punched you, I kicked you, nothing happened, why, what are you doing, what are you doing? Essentially. And, they get hit by the fucking dials themselves, and it's kind of fucking painful, but Luffy, well, let's just say he's a bit smarter in this than the original, and he kind of realizes a few things. Every time they try and hit them, the punches are essentially getting nullified. So Luffy tries essentially divine justice, which they don't have a counter for, let's be honest. The only counter that they genuinely had for was physical attacks. Divine justice is not a physical attack. It is essentially lightning raining down from the sky, which again they should be familiar with because Iniru is on the fucking island, I guess. Again, Luffy dropping Divine Justice stuns, literally and figuratively, the guards themselves, as well as Enel, who, with his significantly, well-developed observation haki, I'm sure he realizes somebody just dropped lightning, which is his special thing to do. Who the fuck is copying him? And that intrigues him, and Enel, earlier than in the original, decides to go about searching for whoever the fuck he can find. Now, I'm sorry, but I'm going to have to leave it at this. I'm going to continue the story in about 2 to 3 days. I don't know when the next one's going to be uploaded, hopefully as soon as I can. Until then, I suppose I'm going to see you guys. And of course, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Please comment down below anything, everything. It helps with the algorithm, I guess. I need you guys to comment the whole fucking world to me. I don't know. Anything will do, dude. Anything will do. Just comment about your day. How's your day been? Anything. Alright, anyway, I'm going to see you guys in the next one. Until then, peace out, stay safe, and what should I add? Don't forget to drink some beer every now and then, unless you're underage, in which case, I don't know.